run very fast out of town. Does he help them win? You're under 500. Aaron Judge helps the Yankees win. You're paying the player $300 million. You better be sure that guy's going to help you get over the hump. For some reason, this guy is completely lost on calling plays. Maybe he's a therapist. Jackson cried to the referee. No, he didn't. We are back for a new show of the Sports Loudmouth. I'm your host, Errol Marks, my co-host, Speedy Petey, our executive producer, Aaron Fishman, and our Sports Minute, Mr. Tommy Scoop. 631-672-3108 is the number to call. Go to our website at www.worldwidesportsradio.com and listen to all our shows throughout the week, including the Loudmouth with me and Speedy Petey every single Tuesdays and Thursdays at 7 p.m. All you have to do to tune in and check out our local listings for all our shows is go to our website at www.worldwidesportsradio.com. If you're a New York Jet fan, boy, oh boy, this is going to be a fun night, and it might not be too fun if the New England Patriots go into MetLife Stadium and kick the you-know-what out of them. And Robert Saleh, a.k.a. Bambi Saleh, could be looking for a new job after this game, because if he can't beat this New England Patriot team, I don't know what to say. Now, this Patriot team is much better than people think they are defensively, but offensively, are you going to trust Jacoby Brissett against Aaron Rodgers? I hope not. But Speedy, what's up, man?
Yeah, you better hope that's the case, because this was supposed to be the easy part of the Jets schedule after the 49er game. The Titans, they did beat, but they survived basically, and the Patriots, and then they get to play Sam Darnold in a couple of weeks as well.
Well, there's nothing to tell me or sell me that this New York Jet team is going to go into MetLife Stadium, their first home game, and Aaron Rodgers is going to run on the field with a flag and hope that this team just completely demolishes the New England Patriots, because that never happens. As a Jet fan, year in and year out, this isn't Tom Brady, this isn't Bill Belichick, but something tells me this is going to be a night of just disgusting disgust. I'm just telling you what I think. I'm hoping that it won't be true, but hey, as a Jet fan, we only wish this team was as successful as the New England Patriots have been over the years. But yeah, we'll see what happens. At 8 o'clock, we'll be talking to former Raiders and Lions safety Stuart Schweigert. He'll be joining us. He was supposed to join us last week. He had family situation and family issues, so we will have him on tonight. And at 8:30, we'll be talking to former Browns and Lions Patriots cornerback Lee Bodden. He will be joining us. He's doing politics over there, wherever he is. Maryland. I know he was running for something, a congressman or something like that. But hopefully everything is going well for him. We haven't spoken to him for a while, so we will have him joining us at 8:30. We will have Let's Parlay at 9 o'clock. For all the fans out there that are betting fans, I know everybody's looking forward to this New York Jet game. I'm not, but if you are, Thursday Night Football, good luck. But you will have a chance to win some money throughout the night if you keep listening to us moving forward. But let's get into it. Boomer Esiason says that the Jets have to drop the hammer on the Patriots tonight to change their image as a franchise. Nick Wright says the Jets are going to keep pretending as long as Robert Saleh is the head coach. Stephen A. Smith says that the Jets can only be true contenders if Aaron Rodgers gets back to his six years ago, his superstardom. Chris Canty responded to Stephen A. Smith saying that it isn't possible coming off a torn Achilles. The Patriots' rush defense is second best in yards allowed per game, but their pass defense is 27th. The Patriots' rushing offense is fifth best in the NFL, while the Jets' defense is 24th against the run. The Jets' offense is 22nd in passing yards per game and 26th in rushing yards per game. So what could we say about the New York Jets in their first home game of the season after 10 days of just up and down football? And I mean 10 days, because we're going into 10 days into the season for the New York Jets, and they're playing their third game. If you're a Jet fan, you cannot, I repeat, you cannot be excited about what we have seen so far from this team, offensively or defensively. What I could say about the New York Jets is pretty simple. If Will McDonald turns out to be a superstar pass rusher, like we've seen Micah Parsons turn out to be, and remember, Micah Parsons was a late teen, short 12th or 11th. I'm trying to say teens, low teens when it came to the draft. The Jets drafted Will McDonald at 15, which is the middle of the teens in the first round. A lot of people questioned Will McDonald being drafted by the Jets in the first round, as they thought he was the second round talent. But in game number 2, after Jermaine Johnson went down for the season with a torn Achilles, Will McDonald stepped up, had 3 sacks in the game, and absolutely dominated the line of scrimmage. I want to see more of that with Will McDonald. Obviously, the Patriots are going to be aware that Will McDonald is going to be their lone pass rusher. This is a second-year player that really still needs time as a pass rusher. Last year, he had 3.5 sacks. He barely played. He was a third down guy. Now he's going to be an every down guy more than likely. And the Jets are going to depend on him, Michael Clemens, and even Quincy Williams coming off the edge. And they're going to use a lot of their linebackers to come off the edge in tonight's game against the New England Patriots, against Jacoby Brissett, and a team that is not high-flying offense. It's not a high-flying offense. They don't have superstar wide receivers. They have a great running back in Stevenson, and the Jets have had problems stopping the run. So if the Jets can figure out how to stop Stevenson, the Jets are going to have a chance to win this game, because to me, the Patriots are not a high-flying offense. Their defense is good. They're a good run-stopping defense, and the Jets' strength is running Breece Hall. I want to see more of Braylon Allen tonight. He's a power back. He is going to shift this defense. And what I mean by that is, if you have a power back that big, punishing the New England Patriots down the middle, it could give the Jets an opportunity to use Breece Hall on the outside and use his speed on the outside. Garrett Wilson's going to have to work more in the offense. I want to see more Mike Williams, and I want to see these tight ends. The Patriots in the last 2 games have had problems stopping tight ends. So what do the Jets need to do in this game? They're going to have to use a heavy dose of Tyler Conklin. That's what I want to see. I want to see more Conklin on the field. I want to see more Jeremy Ruckert. And hopefully Bambi Sala watches enough film to understand that the Jets need to play better offensively if this defense is going to actually show up every single quarter. But because the Jets, in the last couple of years, I said this yesterday, have been the worst team in the NFL in the first quarter. The worst. I want to see at least 10 points in quarter number 1 for the New York Jets. Because if the Patriots smell blood, if they smell it, they're going to attack it. This isn't Bill Belichick. This isn't Tom Brady. It doesn't have to be. This is the New England Patriots. And the Patriots love to play the New York Jets in MetLife Stadium. They love to piss off the New York Jet fans at MetLife. If the Jet fans get involved early in this game, and the Jets get more involved offensively, get Aaron Rodgers some rhythm in this game, the Jets could explode. The fans could explode, and this could be a fun night for the New York Jets. I would love to see the Jets put a 40-point game against the New England Patriots defense and really shut the Patriot fans up all over social media that they're going to shut down this Jets offense. This Jets offense is nothing to brag about so far. Nothing. What I did see over the last couple of weeks is I've seen some good in this offense. I see that Braylon Allen is being used more and more in the last week. I want to see him used even more this week. I want to see at least 15 to 18 touches for Braylon Allen. When he does touch the ball, he causes havoc. He's got a tremendous amount of speed. He's a big back who punishes people when he hits them. That's what you need. And this Patriot team, say whatever you want. There is no Matthew Judon on this team anymore. They don't have a star defensive player on this defense besides Gonzalez, who looks like he's going to be a player. But this is not a defense that we could remember. They say, oh, my God, look out for Vince Wilfork. Look for Rodney Harrison or any of these guys, Teddy Bruschi, they don't have that kind of player, especially in their front seven. So hopefully the Jets have enough film and Bambi Sala put up enough film for this offense to realize they could dominate in this game. Now, Aaron Rodgers, I know a lot of people say, and AKA, Stephen A. Smith, Nick Wright, Boomer Esiason have come out and said that if the Jets want to be a contender, they need to drop the hammer on the Patriots to show that they're a franchise. And Nick Wright, of course, Nick Wright can't stand the Jets. And he has a lot to say about the New York Jets. He has a lot to say about all the New York teams because he's just an absolute hater. Yes, Nick, you're an absolute hater. But I'm going to tell you this right now. No matter what any of these guys say, Aaron Rodgers holds the ticket for this New York Jet team. I don't know what Aaron Rodgers is. I do know that Aaron Rodgers in his career in the last 10 years has not had back-to-back games under 200 yards. Well, he's done it already this year. We need to see more Aaron Rodgers. We need to see more throws in the open field. We need some more accuracy. I want to see this Jet team dominate on the inside so they can dominate on the outside. And that's what the Jets need to do. This offensive line needs to show up tonight, as they have been doing for the last 2 weeks, and show that they are a team to be reckoned with.
Yeah, definitely establishing the run is going to be a big key. While the Patriots' run defense does look good on paper, let's look at who they faced. The Bengals with Zach Moss and Chase Brown as a rookie running back that isn't great. And then they faced the Seahawks backups last week. They had no Kenneth Walker. So this is still an opportunity for Breece Hall to get it going on a consistency basis. He's been efficient. He's been good at points, but he did have his moments of struggle against the 49ers. And that kind of thing has to be established quickly. Garrett Wilson, I like the matchup for because the Patriots have actually struggled more against outside receivers than they did under Bill Belichick, which is a surprising thing. Jerod Mayo's trying to carry over some things. Like you said, Gonzalez has played very well, but their corner depth is not what it used to be. And if their edge rushers are not what it used to be either against this Jets offensive line, it's going to be a very difficult thing. As far as the defense, yeah, they still have to game plan for the run game, especially, and also for the screen game. Ramondre Stevenson has done very well as a receiving back against the Jets throughout his career too. And Bambi Sala is going to have to prepare for that by having these linebackers be in the flats much more often.
I want to see more of this offense be used. I want to see Mike Williams in this offense. We haven't seen enough of Mike Williams. You paid him what, $10-11 million to come to the New York Jets as a free agent. I expect Robert Saleh, aka Bambi, to figure out what he has not done in the last 2 weeks to bring this guy more involved in this offense. This guy's as explosive as Garrett Wilson is in the open field, and he's one of the best red zone guys in the NFL when healthy. Why haven't they used him? It makes no sense. Again, a lot of things don't make any sense with Robert Saleh, but this one doesn't make any sense. So if you're a Jet fan and you expect this team to show up at MetLife Stadium here on Thursday Night Football, because they've been an absolute joke every single primetime game. It doesn't matter who's the quarterback. They have been a joke of an organization in the last 3 years under Robert Saleh, not showing up to primetime games and showing why they can be an elite team. They have a chance to be 2-1 this year and this week. If they have a chance to do that, and by the way, Buffalo doesn't have an easy task this coming week. So if Buffalo loses this week, guess who's in first place? The New York Jets, especially a divisional game. This is very important, Jet fans. It's not about being Kansas City or any of the star teams that we talk about, Baltimore, Pittsburgh, whoever you think is going to be a top contending Super Bowl championship team this year. It's about divisional games. And by the way, the Jets have been horrible in their division for the last 3 years.
Before I bring Fish in, I just want to say Wes had a play that is going to start in a bit, a bonus play for Let's Parlay. Pat's over 7.5 points in the first half, so he doesn't expect the Jets defense to get it going in the first half. And now we'll bring Fish in. Fish, what do you got for this game?
I got some news for you, Jets fans. You're supposed to win this football game, and if you don't, all of these criticisms of Aaron Rodgers at 40 years old, off an Achilles, betting your entire year, maybe next couple of years on that, could really, really turn sour. They were talking earlier today, Stephen A. Smith was saying they need to have the Aaron Rodgers of 6 years ago back. Well, I would love a time machine also to go back 6 years, to get a little bit healthier, a little bit in better shape. That's not happening. That's not happening. He's 40 years old coming off an Achilles on his not his second franchise. This is not that type of guy anymore. he's going to be better than a game manager. He's got all the arm talent in the world, but it's not as big as it was. He's not going to be able to bomb it downfield like he legendarily did with those Hail Marys. He's not going to be able to stretch it as much, so they need to have really good playmakers. But guess what? They have really good playmakers. And we talked about this last week. Why did they barely win a game where they should have won by a lot? Where's the play calling coming from? 3 different guys. Who knows who's calling the plays?
That's what I'm worried about. Is Nathaniel Hackett, does he really know what he's doing offensively? And is it Aaron Rodgers making the play calling at the line of scrimmage? Because if it is Aaron Rodgers in the last 2 weeks has not been very good at the line of scrimmage. This is a guy that draws people off sides. He's probably the best in the league. You've heard Baker Mayfield. You've heard all these different quarterbacks, Joe Burrow, come out and say that Aaron Rodgers is the reason why they play the line of scrimmage the way they do. And even Josh Allen said it about a week ago or 2 weeks ago on what he does at the line of scrimmage, how he sees the play and how he tries to call people off sides. It's all because of Aaron Rodgers. So Aaron Rodgers needs to use all these tricks in his book if they expect to win this game. And I'm going to tell you this right now, this is not going to be an easy task. This Patriot team is just not going to give the game away. And I know Jet fans all over social media think, oh, this is a shoo-in. The Jets should win this game. There's no guarantees because guess what? The New England Patriots last week barely lost that game. And the week before, they beat the Bengals, who everybody thinks is Super Bowl contenders, who just lost against Kansas City in the last minute of the game. So if you think this is going to be an easy game, Jet fans, you're sadly mistaken.
Yes, and again, there's still going to be some coaching discipline that we've seen with the Patriots too. They're not going to throw the game away. You saw Tennessee do that last week, and even in the first game they played, mistakes that are going to do that. The Patriots don't seem like they're making a lot of mistakes so far. They're just, again, not a very talented team. So like you're saying, Fish, the Jets have to get on them early and then try to keep it going.
They got to punish them.
Yeah,
they have to punish them. And I want to see more Braylon Allen. That's how you punish them. You punish them at the line of scrimmage. You hit them where it hurts. This defense is not the same defense. You don't have Vince Wilfork in the middle of the field controlling the line of scrimmage. You have a guy that's 225 pounds of brute strength, muscle, 20. What is he, 20 years old? He was the youngest player drafted in this year's draft. Everybody keeps talking about Breece Hall. Let's talk about Braylon Allen. Let's talk about him now. Let's see what this kid could do in a full game at the line of scrimmage. I think he has the opportunity to do this in this game. I really want to see more Braylon Allen, less of Breece Hall in a game like this where it's going to be all about brawn, not brains, to win this game.
Yep. And Robert Saleh, Mr. Bambi, why don't you do your mantra from when you first got hired as the Jets head coach? All gas, no brakes. Where is that? Because they've been very passive at certain points as well.
All bullcrap.
Look at this. It's a simple game plan. You can't come up with a more simple game plan. Jacoby Brissett does not push the ball downfield. Can you name one of their receivers? I got them in front of me, and I was surprised any of these guys were on this team. KJ Osborne is their number 1 receiver. Jalen Polk was the number 3 receiver at the Washington Huskies last year. Those are their top 2 guys. Demario Douglas, Tyquan Thornton.
Oh, Jeff's boy.
I'll wait till you get scared by any of these guys. You have the secondary to smother these guys. So all you do is you bring some heat and you let these guys smother these subpar receivers.
I want to see on more offense, Quentin Williams too. Where's Quentin Williams?
Oh yeah, you bring the blitz, you free up Quentin Williams.
They don't bring blitzes. Bambi doesn't do that. Bambi don't do that.
Well, I agree with you. I'm just trying to tell him what he should do right now because it's obvious. Defense, you smother them, you play up front, that you press them. These guys can't get off your corners. There's no way. And then offensively, Errol, you said it. 2 back, 20 personnel, 21 personnel, meaning with the tight end. Or 3 receivers, no tight end. Or maybe even go 22 personnel if they could find a second tight end. I don't even know if they're going to activate them because they don't want their tight ends to ever get on the field, apparently. But it just ground and pound, and then let Rodgers make good plays off of it. He sees them in a weakness. He'll find someone open. This isn't a complicated game plan. They should kill these guys. But as you know, Bambi is like a deer in the headlights.
Well, that's why we call him Bambi. That's why we call him Bambi, because he is a deer in the headlights. He's To me, when you look at this team, the downfall of the Jets this season will be the coaching staff, because I don't believe this coaching staff knows exactly what to do when their backs are cornered. And all we see Bambi doing when things are bad is he puts his head between his legs and he looks at his testicles. That's all I can see when I feel that Robert Saleh knows or feels that the game is falling apart for him. And I want to see more of that aggressive nature. I want to see that anger side of Robert Saleh that we've seen over the years. I haven't seen it. I see more anger with me when I speak about the Jets than seeing Robert Saleh, aka Bambi, go out there as a head coach on the sidelines and make excuses at the end of the game. Well, we're figuring things out. We still have to find our rhythm. You have to find your rhythm after 3 years? How many wins do you have as a New York Jet coach? What is it, 7, 8? I don't know. I can't count because I remember more losses than wins with Bambi. I don't want to hear it anymore. And Jet fans, stop sticking up for this guy. There is no excuses to this man. This man has made more mistakes than I can count. And I am sorry, as a fan of the New York Jets, I want to throw up half the time when I realize that this guy is my head coach.
Yep. And again,
19-34, guys.
Ooh.
That's a 358 winning percentage.
The worst.
For the
worst out of
Bambi.
any Jets coach, I bet you, in history. I would bet you it's either
Kotite.
I'm sorry, Rich Kotite, then him. I mean, just look at the list. Look at the list of the New York Jets. There is nothing to brag about the New York Jets and their coaching staff. There's nothing. And Nathaniel Hackett, please figure this out before I can figure it out. Because I'm not even an offensive coordinator, and I can sit there and realize what you're doing wrong on the football field. I understand you want to kiss Breece Hall's ass. I would kiss his ass too. He's a good-looking man. But guess what? Looks don't sell when it comes to the football field. I want to put out brute strength. I want to put the brawn on the field. And what I have seen in the last week is our best option at running back right now is Braylon Allen. And why aren't you putting him on the field any more than you have? Because you got Breece Hall bitching and moaning on the sidelines when you see Braylon Allen on the field. I don't want to hear it anymore. Breece, stop bitching. You want to win a Super Bowl. You wanted to bring Aaron Rodgers here. Let the guy play. Let the guy that shows up at practices, works his ass off week in and week out. I understand he's not taking your position away as the star running back. But you got somebody over there that can help you out. Take some of the dig away from you when you're making mistakes, when you have a guy that can punish the inside of teams' defenses.
Before we get our guest on, shout out to Jamie Lee in the comment section. Loves the nickname Bambi Saleh. And new fan, Brandon Jones in the comment section. LMAO Bambi Saleh.
Yeah, it is Bambi time, baby. It's all about Bambi. And you want to know something? If you're not a Disney fan, well, you don't have to be. All you have to do is check out Robert Saleh. And here it is. Robert Saleh's great record in 53 games. He's 19-34, and he has a career 350 percentage when it comes to wins. Wonderful.
The only coaches worse than Saleh in Jets history are Adam Gase, which should surprise nobody. Yeah. We have Lou Holtz was apparently miserable in 1976, and Ken Shipp the year before. And Rich Kotite, as we said. Best coach in Jets history, also shouldn't surprise you, Bill Parcells.
Yeah, well, I'm not surprised about that. But again, Bill, got sick and tired of being there in New York, wanted to retire, gave it all up to Bill Belichick, and in 24 hours, he fled to New England, and we all know the story after that. He drafts Tom Brady, and they win 6 Super Bowls. Congratulations! And what are the Patriot fans doing right now all over social media? Oh, they're licking their lips. We can't wait until tonight's game. We're going to shut the Jet fans down. Well, guess what, Jet fans? Get loud. I want to see you loud at MetLife Stadium. I don't care about Aaron Rodgers carrying out a flag on the field, dark and green, baby. I don't want to hear about Gang Green punishing this Patriot team. All I care about is this team actually go out on national television and put up a good game. If you do that, I expect a win. If you don't do that, I expect a complete loss, and I'm talking about it, a miserable loss. And I'm not saying, 19-9 loss. I'm looking at maybe the Patriots putting up a 30 spot and the Jets putting up 10 points. I could see that happening for the New York Jets in week 3, Thursday Night Football. 10 days into the season and they're already playing their third game. So it just sickens to me. It sickens me as a Jet fan, for all the Jet fans all over social media, all the writers, all the analysts out there thinking that this is a shoo-in for the New York Jets. Because as a Jet fan, I'm going to tell you the truth. This is never a shoo-in. And honestly, I'm expecting a loss tonight. I am expecting a loss tonight because it's very Jet-like for the Jets to go in on a home game on national television and just be absolutely abused by a team I couldn't stand my whole life. That's all I'm going to say about that. When we come back, our very special guest, we almost had him on last week. He's been very, very busy. I know he's, taking care of family, but we're very happy to have him on. He is always fun to have on. We will be talking to former Raiders and Lions safety, Stuart Schweiger.
This is the Sports Loudmouth.
It's dark. It's dreary. Thursday night football, Jet fans. Oh, I can't wait. Boy, oh boy, am I sick to my stomach. And by the way, it's dark as it was on Monday Night Football a year ago when Aaron Rodgers carried a flag out and tore his Achilles in 4 plays. So, Jet fans, get ready for it. You're listening to the Sports Loudmouth. I'm your host, Errol Marks, my co-host, Speedy Petey. Go to our website at www.worldwidesportsradio.com. Check out all our shows throughout the week, including the Loudmouth with me and Speedy Petey, every single Tuesdays and Thursdays at 7 p.m. All you have to do to tune in and check out our local listings for all our shows is go to our website at www.worldwidesportsradio.com. Our number to call is 631-672-3108. And now, ladies and gentlemen, as you all have been waiting for him, and I know he's been waiting very, very carefully and kindly, as always, our friend, he is a former Raider. He is a former Lion safety, our friend, Stuart Schweiger. Stuart, what's up, buddy?
Guys, hey, thank you so much for I like the pictures, man. Those are pretty cool right there.
You're a sexy man.
Hey, sorry for last week. Something came up, so I appreciate you guys having me on, and a lot of things going on, guys. I wanted to come on because the Raiders had a great game this past Sunday against the Baltimore Ravens. I can't stand. I do not like Lamar Jackson one bit at all, and we can go into more information of that. But I do want to say something when you're talking about the Jets. Aaron Rodgers is the guy is. I mean, do you really like Aaron Rodgers? I mean, really?
I do like Aaron Rodgers. I've always liked Aaron.
You like him as a player, as a person?
I like him. Here's the thing, like him as a player. I don't know much as a person.
It's a concern for me when you don't talk to any of your family. There's a concern for me.
That's not his fault. They didn't like the girl that he was dating. Now all of a sudden the girl is out of his life. And what I've heard about Aaron Rodgers, and listen, I understand that people don't like that.
The guy's a prick. He's a prick.
Do you know him? I don't know him. Do you actually, have you ever hung out with him? Have you ever spoken to him?
I never hung out with him. I don't know anyone that hangs out with him. No one likes the guy.
I see him at sports games and UFC fights, and he shows up. He's hanging out.
I know he likes to sit there and smoke cigars with Joe Rogan and act like a big shot, but come on, guys. I mean,
I don't know anything about him. All I know is I like him as a quarterback. We've had ex-fans been on the show and friends.
Well, that was my question, though. Why do you like him? And you like him as a quarterback? Okay. So
I don't know him personally, but I've had some of his friends on the show, people that have known him or played with him on the football field, and every single one of them said that he's a good guy. He's a great guy in the locker room. He's a great leader. And a lot of people misjudge who he is because of what they hear throughout the media. But I don't know him, so I can't make that thought or even bring up to say what I really think of him. I don't know him. So
let me say this. So you bring up a good point. I guess I've never met him personally. I just know people who do know him, and I just see what he does and how he acts and the way that, he looks at receivers when there's clearly plays that he messes up on and he's looking at receivers. You know what? I mean, whatever. The guy's a great player. He's played a long time. I just don't like him.
You don't like him. All right. We know it's Stuart Schweiger, aka the killer safety, does not like Aaron Rodgers. Well, there we go. We have it inside. So for all you Raider country fans out there that know Stewart and respect Stewart.
Hey, you know what though? Hey, hold on, back up though. Remember, we were supposed to get with Jericho Cotchery, man. Whatever happened with that, dude?
I don't know. You were supposed to bring him on with us.
What happened, dude? You're like, oh yeah, I can connect you with Jericho and stuff. And I tried to link up with them, but there was no response, man.
No response.
I thought you were gonna get that hooked up.
Oh, well, Speedy, what's up with that? He's the guy that reaches out to
I
me.
have reached out to Jericho. I have not heard a single thing.
No luck. All right, I'll get a hold of him.
Listen, that's not my fault. Why don't we bring Jericho Cotchery on the show with you and get some information? I mean, he's never played with Aaron, I don't think. Has he played with Aaron Rodgers?
No.
So how would we know? I mean, seriously, even Jericho coming on the show. How about
this? Let's do this. Let's move on from Aaron Rodgers.
All right, let's do that. Let's go. Let's go back to your Raiders. And it looks like Brock Bowers is a player. I said it.
That guy is a stud, man.
He is a stud. Okay. And I know Jet fans out there probably biting their tongue, including yours truly, because I said, you know what, I don't want it. But we don't know what Olu Fashanu is going to be in the future. Everything that I've seen in preseason, everything that I've seen when I've heard him on practice fields is this guy is the real deal. So if Olu becomes that star left tackle, I'm not going to be upset that we didn't draft Brock Bowers.
Now, forgive me. Is that the one from Oregon State?
Penn State.
Penn State. Okay, Penn State. Okay.
The one in Oregon State was the Saints draft.
The guy that hasn't given up a sack in 3 years of college football. And he played a lot of good teams.
So when we drafted Brock Bowers, I'm like, what? Like we had Mayer last year as a high second round draft pick, right? And I'm going, what are we doing here? But seeing the guy, I mean, I would say he's probably arguably probably the best tight end to ever play college football. I mean, the guy played 3 years, won the Mackey Award twice. I mean, leading receiver for Georgia 3 years in a row on very good Georgia teams. And as you can see, I think in the 2 weeks he set the all-time or the rookie tight end receptions with 15. I mean, the most ever by a tight end in his first 2 weeks. So, I mean, the guy's a stud. And I always say this: 12 personnel is probably the best formation you can have, right? So you think about this: you have Mayer, you have Bowers, you have Meyer, Jacoby Meyer, you have Devontae Adams, you have Minshew, we're kind of struggling with running backs right now. But with 12 personnel, you can do whatever you want. You can play action, max protect. You can take those tight ends, put them in the backfield. Your whole entire playbook is open. So when we got him, at first I was thinking, what are we doing? But then thank God we have this guy. I mean, he is a very, very, very good player. And the Raiders, we have a good team. We do. We have a great defense. We have a good offense. The thing that we need to get better at is our tackles. We've given up some things. Okay, Mumford and Miller gave up some things this past weekend. And then, to be honest with you guys, people always say, Stu, you're tough on safeties. You're tough on safeties. But the Raiders safeties with Morag and Epps are probably our weakest point of our team. And it really needs to improve. Their tackling has been off. The reason that we lost to the Chargers, letting Dobbins run for 180 yards was just bad angles and missed tackles by our safeties, So if we can clean that up, I'm really excited. Now, obviously, we have the Carolina Panthers coming in this weekend. With Andy
Dalton playing quarterback.
Andy Dalton, right? And I think he's 4-0 or 5-0 against the Raiders, right? We got to win this game. We have to win this game. We need to be up 14 or 21 to nothing at the end of the first quarter. We got.
I don't know if that's going to happen.
That's how Errol feels about the Jets.
That's not going to happen.
You don't think so?
No, I think it's going to be a very close game because as much as I love what
I think that it's the Carolina Panthers.
Yeah, you know why? Because I just think Bryce Young is just horrible. He's a horrible quarterback. Andy Dalton's a better quarterback than Bryce Young. I think it's going to be a lot more. It's going to be a very interesting game because of the fact that the team is going to go to that veteran side and they're going to trust that Andy Dalton's going to go out there and put up a big game. Now, I don't think
I want to ask you this. put any rookie quarterback in that Carolina Panthers franchise, no one's going to have success. Nobody's going to have success.
I think they have a lot more weapons than you think they do. I really do. I think they're a lot better than you think they are. I think Bryce Young is just horrible. I just don't think he's going to be developed. I think he's another Zach Wilson. He's just a bust. And unfortunately, the Carolina Panthers have made that mistake because CJ Stroud is becoming a star right in front of our eyes. And this kid,
I'm telling you this, if CJ Stroud would have got drafted to Carolina, he'd be in the same position as him right now.
I disagree. I think
really?
CJ Stroud, I think CJ Stroud has proven that it doesn't matter who his coach is. It doesn't matter who's in front of him. The guy's a winner. He is a winner. And he goes out there. It doesn't matter who's on the field. He's going to go out there. He's going to take that. If there's pressure on him, he's going to move inside and out of the pocket. He's going to make every single throw. And what the Carolina Panthers and all the analysts, all the media did to him when they were expecting him to fall out of the top 10. Remember that? And when he was drafted at number 2 and he started to cry and he said that I'm going to prove to all the fans out there, the Texan fans, that I was worth every bit of the second pick in the first round. Remember when he said that? And boy, oh boy, he went on to one of the greatest rookie seasons we've ever seen a quarterback have. And I thought that this was going to be a sophomore bust year. Oh boy, the guy's 2-0. The Texans look like they're going to be the team to beat right now in the AFC. They have been a sure thing so far in the AFC.
I will say this: there are the small percentage of the small percentage of the small percentage of NFL players, the Randy Mosses, the Warren Sapps, the Charles Woodsons, these guys that wherever they go, they're going to go good. They're going to be good. Mm-hmm. For the rest of the guys, it's situation. It's going to the right place. It's going to a team that can develop you. I mean, think about in the last 20 years, any quarterback that's ever went to Cleveland.
Yeah,
like it's a dead zone, and you're asking this kid, and I didn't like him coming out. I didn't. I thought he was too small. But going to Carolina, any quarterback you get at Carolina is not going to have success. It's not, and unfortunately, that kid's career is probably pretty much over with now.
It's over.
You know what I mean?
It's over unless it gets traded to
unfortunate.
Kyle Shanahan or Sean McVay, and they say, you know what?
Kyle Shanahan, for whatever reason, that guy can make quarterbacks, dude.
Yes.
That guy is unbelievable with quarterbacks.
I think that if he goes to Kyle Shanahan or he goes to Sean McVay and he lets them, because look, Sean, say whatever you want about Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield went there a half a season. Yep. He didn't play very well, but Sean McVay was coaching him. He goes after that to Canales. Canales has been over there with the Panthers all offseason, and he couldn't fix Bryce Young. I don't think anybody could fix Bryce Young but Sean McVay and Kyle Shanahan. And I'm not a Kyle Shanahan fan. I think the guy loses the thought of running the ball in the second half. Every single time he has a chance to win in the Super Bowl, he has been an absolute debacle of a coach in the Super Bowl. He just, hey, you know what? We're winning. We have the best running back in the world, and you know what? I'm going to stop running the ball.
I'm sure Stewart doesn't like it either. It means more glory for his
rival. It doesn't make
Chiefs.
sense. I called it, Stewart. I watched the Super Bowl last year, and I told everybody, don't be surprised if San Francisco has the lead, and in the second half, he stops running the ball. And what happened in the second half? He stopped running the ball. They had the lead.
I don't understand it. I don't know why these coaches you have something that's working, and it's like, oh, you know what? We know we can do this. Let's try this though. It's like, why? What are you doing? Just keep running with whatever's working until it doesn't work. I don't understand that. And I will say this one thing about this past weekend that I really liked about the Raiders and our offensive coordinator Lou Getsy was we couldn't run the ball, right? And we stopped it, we abandoned it, and we just kept passing, right? And I'm going, dude, I love the fact that here's a guy going, this isn't working. Let's go with what works and let's keep doing it until they stop it. I mean, it's very simple, right? Like, again, you're talking about something's working for the 49ers, and all of a sudden, yeah, you know what? Let's try this though. Let's see if this works. It's like, why? What are you doing? It makes no sense. It makes no sense. With these coaches, they always want to. Coaches,
they outcoach themselves.
They do. No, they do. And they let their egos get ahead of them. And unfortunately, There's a lot of bad coaches, guys. There's a lot of bad coaches, unfortunately. There really is.
I know. Bambi Sala is one of my coaches. I mean, I'd rather sit there and watch a Disney movie than watch Robert Saleh coach for this New York Jet team, honestly. And I'm watching, by the way, the Jets have the ball first. Here we go. Aaron Rodgers pitch to Garrett Wilson. I would say that was about 7 yards right there, 5 yards. So finally, he's 1-for-1.
Is New England 2-0? Are they 2-0 right now?
1-1. They went to overtime last week. They could have very easily been 2-0, but they lost against the Seahawks.
Mm-hmm.
I always liked Brissett. I really did. I always thought Brissett was a good quarterback. You know, when he was with the Colts, I thought he got kind of a bad rep. I thought he was a guy that he kind of wins where he's at, right? I mean, I mean, what would you guys say about Brissett? I think he's better than freaking.
He's a journeyman, like steady guy, like you're saying. Like he does the smart things well enough.
Aaron Rodgers started to use his legs for the first time as a New York Jet. Yes.
I will say this: the fact of how fast that he came back from that Achilles injury is
Amazing.
Unbelievable.
Everything he could have.
You know what? Maybe let me. You know, let me rethink about what I said about Rodgers again. I don't know him personally, so that's not fair for me to call the guy a prick because I don't know him. Again, I've just heard through people who do know him. I don't know him, so that's not fair for me to say that. You know what I mean? The guy is a competitor. The guy is I don't like his demeanor. I don't like the cigar smoking. I don't like the cockiness. It's just I don't like that. So that's more of why I probably said that.
Oh, that's all right.
Yeah,
that's all right.
So you were talking about the tight end personnel earlier. There was a comment today about Mel Kiper saying that the NFL should ban two high safeties, meaning they should have one safety near the line of scrimmage or near like a linebacker's flag to increase more offense as a safety yourself. What are your thoughts?
Wait. What did he say? What?
He said the NFL should ban two deep safeties and they should have one safety in the box, like with playing like a linebacker, and make it illegal to have two deep safeties. It's like ridiculous. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, because he thinks that it doesn't
no
offense, for the deep balls or what? I mean, what
there's no offense this year. Quarterbacks have struggled, so let's ban two deep safeties.
I love it. And here's the thing. I feel the NFL goes in phases, right? You know, they're kind of going back to two tights, where they put a guy in the backfield, two running backs running between the tackles, kind of old school football again with this spread stuff. For me, football is between the tackles. You line up, it's a physical game. But to say that two high safeties, I mean, I guess I kind of see what he's saying, but still though, I mean, how could you make that illegal? You know what I mean? Like that's kind of a weird statement, right? I mean, how are you going to do that?
It's Mel Kiper. He makes a lot of weird statements.
Well, Mel, I mean, he needs to concentrate on his hairline before he starts talking about it.
He needs to concentrate on actually knowing how to draft because he is just absolutely horrific when it comes to that.
He also needs to focus on his retirement promise he made when Jimmy Clausen didn't turn out to be a good quarterback.
Jimmy Clausen, dude, I remember going to Notre Dame on a visit because I was actually getting recruited as a quarterback at Notre Dame when they used to run the option with Bob Davies. And I remember me and my dad are there, and Clausen's there with his dad, and his mom's got this big mink coat on, and me and my dad are like, who are these people, dude? You know what I mean? We're like, what in the heck is going on with these guys? So the Clausens are, I mean, what is it, like 4 or 5 of them? I don't know. I mean, I lose track of how many of them actually, played or whatnot. But I remember the mom had this huge just mink coat or whatever it was on. And me and my dad are going, I said, you know what? I want to go wherever he's not so I can play against him so I can go and smash his face, honestly. That's what I thought about him.
Well, the Jets had two penalties that set them back. They were on actually the Patriots 40 and sent them back all the way to their 40. And now you have third down.
Are they at home?
They're at home. They're at home. And I just don't know the play calling. 3rd-and-19, by the way, the New York Jets are. So let's see what the box.
It's funny actually you bring up the Jets because today I was going through some stuff and I I came across the 2005 Raiders versus Jets, which was, I think, the last game of the season, or second to last game of the season. Brooks Bollinger was the quarterback.
Yes.
You had BJ Askew at running back. You had Jericho Cotchery. You had Doug Jolly at tight end. But I actually it was a pretty good game. They ended up beating us because, I mean, we had no offense. I mean, zero offense at that point. Tuiasa Sopa was our quarterback, and it wasn't very good. But played there twice. Played out there in the Meadowlands, right? I mean, that was when the Giants and the Jets played in the same stadium, wasn't it? If I'm not mistaken, or
yeah, it was, and that sickened me too, because the Jets could never beat the Giants at the old Meadowlands Stadium, so or beat anybody, honestly.
I'm trying to think. If you think of the Jets, who would be in the last 20 years? Who would be Jets all-stars?
Darrelle Revis.
Curtis Martin. I would say DeBrickashaw Ferguson, Nick Mangold. I'm just trying to think of positions.
My buddy from Washington State, the safety,
Mawai would be
6th-round pick, who ended up becoming a starter. Safety
what
from
position?
Washington State.
Kerry Rhodes?
No, not Rhodes. He's going to be pissed off that I'm forgetting his name right now.
What position did he play?
He said
safety from Washington State, was a 6th-round pick.
Oh my God!
This is the one that used to be on our network, or not?
Started as a rookie.
With that, I believe his name is Mr. Coleman.
Eric Coleman. Yep.
No.
What?
I love Eric, but I think there are other safeties that play for the New York Jets.
Who?
There was a
Eric Smith.
Rex Ryan. No, not Eric Smith. What was the kid that they brought in?
What's wrong with Eric Smith?
Rex Ryan that we were talking
Jim
about.
Leonard.
Jim Leonard was definitely there. Jim Leonard was definitely a better
Wisconsin guy I know very
well. Who else?
I definitely think Rhodes was better for sure.
Rhodes was better than he was. Kerry Rhodes was definitely better than him. As far as Muhammad Wilkerson was pretty good when he was at the top of his game. I'm just trying to think right off the head who I would go with.
David Harris was good.
David Harris was a very good linebacker for the New York Jets.
You guys had a linebacker that came from the Raiders in the mid 2000s. Really good linebacker. Eric is it Barnett or
Barton? I think, yeah.
Eric Barton? Is it Eric Barton?
Barton, I remember. Yes, Eric Barton was definitely on the Jets. I do remember him. I would put Cromartie. He would be out there as the other guy. I would put Sauce right now. I mean, Sauce is pretty damn good in his first.
Sauce Gardner?
Yeah, I would put him there. I mean, right now, he's been the best corner.
He was a rookie last year, right?
No, he wasn't. The year before that. He's been the best.
This is his third season?
Third season. Okay. And he's been the best corner, top 3 corner in the league both years. So I would put him there too.
As far as tackles, interceptions, and all, and production,
he's been as good as.
And he was out of
Cincinnati.
Oh, that's right.
An undefeated team.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Came out of Cincinnati. I mean, there are other guys, and if I thought about it and just like I could write, I gave you a couple of really good ones, but there were a lot of good players. What? I just gave you a couple of good ones.
Stuart doesn't want to leave Eric Coleman that far down the list.
Yeah, come on. Really?
It's a friend of mine. He's done a show with us. I know Eric, but would I put him as a top safety for the New York Jets in the last 10, 15 years? I wouldn't. That's just me. I mean, I'm a Jet fan, so I'm just speaking what I think. And by the way, Brissett, made his first pass of the game. Go be Brissett. They're 1 for 1.
Don't worry, Stuart. He still likes Eric Coleman more than he likes Jamal Adams.
Eric is a friend of mine. I'm not hating on Eric Coleman. By the way, we are talking to former Raiders and Lions safety Stuart Schweigert, a friend of the show.
Was Ty Law out there?
Yes, he was on the team, but Ty Law was only there for 1 year.
Okay.
He was only there for 1 year, so I wouldn't put Ty Law on that list. I mean, the Jets have had good running backs too. Jones, he was a good running back. What's his name again from the Chargers?
Was that Julius Jones' brother? Right, that was Julius Jones' brother, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
They've had a good. They had a good fullback.
Tony Richardson.
Tony Richardson. They had Tony Richardson there for.
Tony Richardson's a Kansas City Chief. He's not.
No, but he was there for 2 or 3 years. He was there with the Jets for 2 or 3 years. He was there for the Jets for a while, and so you can't say you can't put him. You have to put him on a list. He's a Hall of Famer. I mean, I'm just trying to think right now. Oh, there's a blitz. For the first time, I saw the Jets actually have a blitz this year. Barry's doing something. Sorry.
Well, let me ask you this: who when you think of this season as of right now, who are your front runners for the Super Bowl?
Right now, obviously, everybody's got Kansas City, but I still think there's no guarantees. And I think Buffalo looks good, but I still question
They'll
their
choke. They'll mess it up.
Their secondary. I really don't. I still think Burrow and the Bengals are going to be a lot better than they are.
They were my Super Bowl pick at the start of the year.
I think Baltimore is a lot better than what they've shown. I think. I mean, it's right now. Did anybody believe that the Chargers were going to be 2-0 right now? Come on, nobody thought that the Chargers.
Well, I'm telling you, Harbaugh's a good coach, man.
I never said that he wasn't. Never said that he wasn't.
But I knew he'd get those guys going, man. And they got players.
I thought that the Rams were going to be better, but all these injuries with Puka Nacua, Cooper Kupp now. I mean, they're dragging their asses. And by the way, the Lions, what's going on with them?
They were my NFC pick. Yeah,
they've looked horrible in their first 2 games. So there's no guarantee.
Hutchinson's so goddamn good, though, man. God,
you like Aiden Hutchinson?
What did he have? 5 sacks last week?
4.5. Yeah.
Yeah. I like Aiden. He's one of those guys that I've watched. When he plays a good offensive line, he kind of disappears, and I want to see guys like TJ Watt. It doesn't matter who he's playing. It doesn't matter who TJ Watt is playing. He's going to kill them. So that guy is unbelievable. I mean, you want to ask me.
I don't like any of the Wattses. I don't like any of the Wattses.
Really? Well, look at him.
I'm just going to say, again, this is just my personal opinion. I think that there are things that the Wattses do that I wouldn't do that I think gives them an advantage. And I think it's cheating, but there you go. That's just me. I don't think. What's that?
I'm going to call you Mr. Schweik. You know why? Because Mr. Schweik, Dr. Schweik, that's what we're going to call you. Dr. Schweik thinks that the Watts cheat. I would agree with you because J.J. Watt is one of the most overrated defensive linemen I have ever
And you know what? Maybe I'm going off.
TJ's better. TJ's a lot better.
And you know what? Maybe I'm letting what I think about his brother dictate what I think about him. So, again, let me rephrase that.
Okay. You don't like JJ.
I don't like JJ.
I don't like JJ either.
Okay,
so me and you are seeing the same length here.
Okay.
I mean, Speedy looks at different lengths, the miniature ones. I look at the long lengths.
There's nothing miniature than any of the Watt brothers.
Yeah, those are links that you probably don't want to see, right, Speedy?
I do not.
Okay, but if you do, you might
I don't
hit it out of the ballpark. You know what I'm saying?
No, I would fail at doing that. So.
Well, I don't know about that. Have you ever seen it?
Let me ask you guys this from an outside source. What do you think about the Raiders?
I liked them coming into the year. I thought they were like a fringe playoff team. I wasn't sure on their offense. I liked their defense, though, a lot. I just wasn't sure with their offense, with the depth of their wide receivers.
I don't know.
You say, with the tight ends.
I don't know what Zamir White is yet. He's a young running back. I still want to see what he can do. I think they are explosive with Devontae Adams and Bowers. I think their defense is a lot better than people, expected it to be. Because I still think the coaching over there is competent. I do like Antonio Pierce. I like him. I think he's a good leader. He was a good player. I think they're a fringe team. I still think Devontae Adams, one way or another, is going to push his way out of there one way or another because he just doesn't want to be there. That's just my opinion. I don't know for sure, as Devontae Adams came out and took shots at other people saying that it never came from his mouth. I still believe he wants to play for the Jets. That's just my opinion. So I don't want him there, by the way. I don't want another overpaid player playing over there with the New York Jets. That's just me. I'm just being honest. Stuart, I'm being honest.
I know you're being honest.
I know, Keith, he said he wants to be there. I said that. He came out and said that he wants to be there. That doesn't mean he wants to be there. Just because a player says he wants to be there doesn't mean that he wants to be there. I'm just saying. And I never said that he's going to the Jets. So, Keith, listen here. I'm going to say it nice and slow for you. You ready? I never said that Davante Adams wanted to go to the Jets. I am saying that is what is said and believed. Is that better for you? I've helped you. There.
Yeah, in 5 months when he'll be complaining about
Hooked on Phonics worked for me.
He'll be complaining about it in 5 months. He's like, oh, I never said that.
Hooked on Phonics worked for me.
Here you go. What do you feel about the young quarterbacks?
Struggles some so far. Jaden Daniels probably looks like the best one, but still not great.
Wow, he actually threw to a tight end. Oh, my God, it's a miracle.
Talent-wise, to answer your question,
my
I
God.
obviously Caleb Williams was the consensus #1, but I like Jaden Daniels too, and I do actually still do like Penix as well once he actually does end up starting in a year or
That's
so.
Jeremy Ruckert, I think, too. That was
Has
Jeremy Ruckert.
Penix played at all?
No,
Or?
he wasn't supposed to this year because they had Kirk Cousins there.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Kirk Cousins. Yeah, that's right.
Led the charge, finally overcame his Monday night demons against the Eagles.
Yeah. Oh shit. Yeah. I mean, yeah. How? So, yeah. Who is the Eagles quarterback?
Still Jalen Hurts.
Is it? Okay. All right. Oh, I guess I'm thinking of Pittsburgh with
Justin Fields.
Yeah.
Starting right now, and then Russell Wilson's hurt and allegedly on the bench, and now he might get traded. Who knows?
Russell Wilson's hurt.
He has a calf injury, or so we believe.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you this right now. This game is going to be a very boring game. So get ready, Jets and Patriot fans. Boring game. I'm already bored. And Robert Saleh with his head between his legs once again. I'm loving it, by the way. If he wants to keep looking at his testicles, might as well bring in a magnifying glass because it's probably that small. He doesn't have balls. I'm just saying. I'm just being a Jet guy.
How long has the head coach been over there?
This is year 4.
This is year 4 and just an absolute complete catastrophe.
Really?
The guy stinks. He stinks.
What's been their record?
Record? He's got the second worst record.
We just discussed this before, like 1937 or something.
He's got the second worst record in Jets history right there. I mean, right there. Look at that. He's 19 and 34.
God. Lou
Oh,
Holtz.
my God. I want to throw up. Oh, my God.
Pete Carroll. Oh, my Lord.
Oh, my God. Oh, my
Eric
Lord.
Mangini. Yeah, well, that was when we played him.
Yeah, we called him Mangini, and he was like a genie in a bottle, lost. But Lee knows about him. Lee knows about Eric Mangini.
And he was smiling at player
Rex
Patriots.
Ryan wasn't too bad, was he? Rex Ryan wasn't too bad, was he? Or
he was sexy Rexy until he got that tattoo of what is it? Mark Sanchez on his arm? Yeah, it was wonderful too. Great sell to me as a Jet fan. Rex Ryan gets a picture of his quarterback on his arm. You know what? And he loves feet, by the way. Loves feet. Maybe I should send him a picture of mine.
Rob Ryan was my defensive coordinator. Rob Ryan's still a very close friend of mine. So, yeah, the Ryans are unique guys. Trust me, they're a fun bunch.
No, yeah, they're definitely fun. Definitely, absolutely fun. By the way, where is Braylon Allen? Nowhere to be found. That was a catch, by the way. That was a catch. Go look at it. I thought that was a catch. And by the way, is Garrett Wilson ever going to learn how to get his 2 feet in? This is football, right? This isn't college football. This is the NFL. I want to see if he actually caught it and argue that. Oh, let's see. Here we go. Is it? Nope. Not in. Stu, before we let you go, Stu, because I'm a little sick to my stomach already with this team. I'm very sick. I'm predicting a field goal here, but that's just me. My thought to your thought on who do you think is going to be the surprise team so far that you've seen early this NFL season? Surprise team.
Me? What I think?
Who do you think is the surprise team?
I mean, I know it's probably the typical answer, but I think the Raiders are going to be really good. I think the Raiders are going to be.
I figured. You heard
I got to, man. I mean, shit. Sorry.
And Lee probably thinks the Patriots are going to be the surprise team.
I said before the season, Raiders.
You know what?
I said before the season, Raiders.
We never do this. We've done this one time.
Yeah,
we have Stuart Schweiger on. We'll keep Stuart on. We're going to go to a quick break. I want to bring Stu in with Lee Bodden. I think this will be great. Going back and forth with two ex-NFL
Lee
players.
Bodden's coming in. I played with Lee Bodden in Detroit.
We're going to keep you in. We're going to go to a quick break.
I played with Lee Bodden when we went 0-16.
There you go. So now you guys can be talk buddies. When we
I love
come back,
Lee Bodden.
yes, we're going to bring in Stuart Schweiger and former Patriots and Brown and Lions cornerback Lee Bodden